Are you ready to reclaim joy in your life? Why joy? Why now? Welcome to Joy Rules with me, Lorelei, your joy guru. While the world looks like it's at a breaking point, burnout, stress, isolation, and overwhelm dominate the headlines. Within all this, there's a longing for something deeper, something that heals beyond the mind. Joy fuels health, sparks expansive thought, aligns us spiritually, and connects us to one another. Join me as I weave astrology, intuition, and modern psychology to ignite your soul's highest alignment. Each week I sit down with luminous guests who embody joy as a spiritual path, a creative force, and a way of life. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's dive into the joy. Because when joy rules, transformation becomes inevitable. Oh, my playmates for the soul. Again, this is like, I feel like a kid in a candy store. So in case you're wondering why I have the scales behind me, that takes me right into the cosmic weather. The planet Venus, which is the planet of love, the planet of attraction, the planet of what we value, what we appreciate, what brings us joy, is in Libra now until the 10th of September. So if there are any relationships, beginning with the one with yourself, but with anyone that need some tender loving care, that, maybe you've had some altercation and you left things hanging, Venus in Libra is a beautiful time to reach out, to connect. It's the sign of the ambassador. It's the sign of diplomacy. It's the sign of sharing. So just wanted to say that. Now, also, Mars, the other relationship planet, Venus is very at home in Libra. Certain planets are very much at ease, like the sun loves being in Leo. It's its favorite place. Mars, on the other hand, now, Mars is what drives us. Mars is what you're passionate about, what propels you and compels you to take action. Mars just shifted about 3 days ago into the most emotional sign in the zodiac, into Cancer. And Cancer is sensitive, vulnerable, caring, nourishing, nurturing. But Mars, because Mars is the aggressor, Mars is not at home in Cancer. So this is a time to really be with the courage of everything that you feel. And what a beautiful segue to introducing you to my luminous guest in the nest today, because she's born with Mars in Cancer. Wait till you see what I have to tell you, Linda. So my wonderful guest in the nest, Linda Westman, welcome to Joy Rules.
Thank you very much, Lorelei. I am deeply honored to be here, and it's very much a gift to me to be spending time with you in your playground.
Well, I appreciate that. What's so interesting, I'm just going to kind of lead with this. I don't think you know this yet. We didn't talk about this on the connection call because I wasn't aware of it. But today, this is so interesting that you're the guest. And today you begin a new 2-year cycle, a new Mars cycle, a new cycle of passion, of desire, of action, of, again, what propels you forward today. I mean, not because you're born with Mars at 2 degrees of Cancer, where Mars is now. So I just thought, how beautiful is the universe to set that up, that the sun is in Leo now. You are a Leo and have 4 other planets in Leo. The moon, we're still in the new moon. We're still in the new moon phase, but the moon is in Virgo now, which of course is the moon sign that you were born under. So I thought, like, the universe has really orchestrated this for you, Linda, in order to be able to, because I've always experienced you as, before I knew that my job was joy, you were one of the people that I always experienced with so much joy, so much passion, in terms of how you hold yourself and how you hold others. So when you and I connected, when I saw on Facebook that you had written and published a book, and that the name of the book is Come Home to Yourself, I thought, how perfect is that? She wrote that book when when Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, growth, optimism, was in Cancer. So we'll start here. When I asked you, I said, what kind of was the impetus to write the book? And you said with much animation, and I wrote this book out of pain, you said. So you want to start there?
Yes,
Let's just
because
jump right in.
when I was born, I had pain. That was my introduction to being on the planet. My head had the clamps to pull it out, and then this bone right here was broken to get out my shoulders. And then he really was fed up. He was ready. It was 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday. He had arrived at the birthing home in the little town 3 miles from where we live at at 11 o'clock and been there, or maybe he arrived. I don't know when he arrived. At any rate, then he twisted me and broke another bone. So I think I made a decision at that point that life is difficult. And then when I was in college as a 18-year-old, I learned that I had all of the characteristics of an adult child of an alcoholic. And that really put, well, and all, going through the hormonal changes as a young teen,
Mm.
it's painful. That's painful. Wanting to be loved, wanting to be accepted. It's such a strong urge at that time. So I was focused like a missile. In the 70s, it was all about missiles, 1970, hiding under your desk in case there's an atomic war. So we had fear also. But this time right now, I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling passionate about helping others to enjoy life in this moment. Now that I'm 79, day after tomorrow or on Monday, I just want, it's simple. Life is such a gift, and we're connected with Source. And when we know that and we listen, I didn't know that when
Yeah,
I was born, that this was all perfect. I needed to feel that pain in order to be doing what I'm doing now. It's
yeah,
a big gift to have all the stuff we experience, because then later life is so rich, because I believe that we are clearing out the two sides of us. We're learning to love the side of us that we're going like that's easy to judge.
yeah.
And I am learning to let go of judgment of myself and of others and all of this stuff. And there's certainly a lot to practice with. It's a
Yeah.
good time.
Well, it's so interesting because you have 5 planets in Leo. Again, planets are needs, drives, and urges that we have. And while that's a lot of joy and play and fun, there's a seriousness in because you have Saturn there, Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, then you have Jupiter and Scorpio. Here's my point. I was thinking about how it's play with a purpose. In other words, it's it's time for you to be comfortable on this bigger stage in your life, having written this book out of your experience, out of your journey. And at a time, this is what blew me away when I saw your post first on Facebook and then I reached out to you. At a time when it was all about come home to yourself. You wrote that at a time that it was about that, coming home to the good, all of it, right? All of it in order to, and you made decisions. You became a chiropractor, right? So you helped people adjust their physicality, if you will. And I remember, because I went to many different wonderful, I look chiropractors, but is it subluxation is letting in the light, correct? It's letting the light. In other words, when one is goes to a chiropractor and gets an adjustment, one of the things I learned from one of the chiropractors is it's actually letting in more light into the body. Is that anything that
Yeah. How does light come in? It goes down the spine and from the spine out to all the organs and limbs of the body. And if there's an interruption in that flow, which happens when we're stressed because muscles move bones. So the emotion started basically because even when we have an accident, what moves out? It's the vertebrae related to a certain emotion. And
Yeah.
Louise Hay is the one who gifted me as a chiropractor with the specific emotions that related to a specific level of the spine. So
Mm.
I was able to help people with their mental emotional. When I first got the book, I told my client, you know, that vertebrae that's out, that T6 relates to this emotion. He said, that's exactly what's going on in my life.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the
You're talking about
universe
you're talking
comes
about
in.
Heal Your Body, right? The Heal Your Body book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's interesting that you say that because every time I've ever looked up anything that was going on with me, it was always right on. And you know, and you really, because you came in with prominent Cancer energy, where Leo is confident beyond belief, it's courageous, it's here I am world, you know, I'm going to take up space, right?
Mhm.
But then you have a Virgo moon, which says, well, do I really deserve that? You know, I'm exacerbating, but am I perfect enough? And then Cancer rising, your window to the world, your doorway. All of you have a rising sign depending on what time you're born. And then Mars in Cancer, my point is the emotional journey that you have lived is so in keeping because anytime I have ever connected with you over the years, the joy was always a big one, but it was always you create a safe space. You create a safe container for people to unfold, for them to birth themselves. And when you said to me on our connection call, you know, you love seeing the change right there. Like something when someone gets it, right? And then that shift occurs, then everything changes, right?
It does. Thank you for saying that. There's such joy for me in that.
Yeah.
And each one of us is unique and different. The great joys that we have are a little bit different according to what, as you know, we come in with. That's why you're so precious to us, those of us who are going like, whoa, I don't know what to do. You can help people, I know you do, with their businesses. And you've been knowing how clearly yourself, you knew what you wanted to do. Your business card that I collected from many years ago talks all about this.
Well,
What do
I
you?
appreciate that. Um, well, and I wanna jump into something that might make you feel a little uncomfortable, but I just want to put it out there because the planet Jupiter now, this planet of growth and expansion and wisdom and optimism and truth and the meaning and purpose of life, the contract with God and the universe, Jupiter is in Leo now until July of 2027. And I asked you on the connection call, let's have fun with, you know, an expansion, and you talked about that a desire, a thing would be a TEDx talk, correct? Yeah.
I said that. Oh dear.
I
Not.
know you did. And the reason I'm saying it here is because I want to put it out into the airwaves
Oh,
for you to just allow it to let go of it. Because again, because again, you know, you and I are the same age. So, I mean, I'm sure I'm talking to myself on some level, but when you have embraced all of these parts of you, and now you have created something from your heart, your book, to share, to basically inspire and uplift and empower others, women specifically, for sure, and the joy in that, right? And releasing any, how do I do this? How do I get this out there? How do I, you know, whatever that is, because this is going to take on a life of its own, I believe. The fact that, because Jupiter, again, I hate to use the word luck, but it is, but if you read just in basic astrology books, Jupiter is lucky. It's only because we believe all things work together for good. And sometimes that can appear like luck, but it's just because we have surrendered into the truth of what we know, right? What do they say? Luck is when opportunity and something come together. So I just wanted to put that out there because whether it's you and I talking or you on the show here or you with your friends or clients or family or a stage, it's the same message, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's like having that opportunity to really express the excitement and wisdom and passion of your soul which has now sort of culminated in this gift that you have. Show the book again for a minute if you would. There's a reason I want. Okay, so you see how it's red, which is beautiful for all the Leo energy. The blue, you wrote it when Jupiter was in Cancer, and then the gold. The gold and the red is very leonine. So my point is that cover really speaks to your wiring. You know, it speaks to your astro DNA, if you will, right?
I want the listeners to understand that right now, the opportunity for everybody to feel what you're saying about me. I am listening, hearing from many people that they feel like the doors, the big rocks in their path have been moved aside and they can move forward. Could you speak to that?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's yeah, we are all whether we're conscious of it or not um birthing a new version of ourselves.
Mm.
And I'm using the word birthing deliberately because you have birthed something from your heart, the book. Everybody's in this, whether they're conscious of it or not. Those who are conscious, it's easier to then embrace the guidance as it comes, you know, because the clearer we get, and if there were ever a time to make decisions based on, will this bring me joy? And that's not superficial. That's not superficial and it's not selfish because if you and I are in joy, we are vibrating and emanating a frequency out to
Mm.
others
Mm, mm,
that can only uplift. You know something? I never really understood that about myself. When I got on this joy trajectory and people that have known me for years and they would say, you know, I've always seen you that way. I didn't see myself that. I didn't. Isn't that interesting?
yes,
So it's almost like that's for all of us
yes.
thinking about the things that come the most naturally to each of us and are the easiest are what we value the least and take for granted.
Precisely. I do want to mention that my co writer, Laura, helped me tremendously. I've been wanting to write a book. I told people I was writing a book 20 years ago or more.
Did you? I didn't
I've
know
been,
that.
yes, and I've been taking notes. I mean, since college probably, but I'd hear something wonderful I wanted to share with the world and I wrote it down. But I was not moving forward because of, as you said, the cancer and all of that.
Oh, that
Not
would
good
be,
enough.
yeah,
Who
I'm
am
scared.
I?
Yeah, yeah.
But when I met Laura on a Zoom call as an author in a compilation book with different authors, and I heard that she helped soul driven authors get their books out, I said, all right, thank you, Lord. I know this is my moment because I had had an accident and I realized if that fellow who went through the yellow light would and hit my bumper. If he had hit me squarely, I could be out of here. So that's what really, it's like cancer. It kicks your butt and gets you moving. That got me going like, okay, I've got to do it now. If I'm ever going to do it, I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And then meeting her. So I want to emphasize that the universe, we are all connected. And one clear evidence I get on a regular basis is how people I meet will give me just exactly the word I needed to hear to move forward. It's so delightful. It's a way I can feel loved by God because all parts of God are conspiring to support me once
Yes.
I'm committed. Like
Yes,
Gertrude said.
totally. Totally. Yeah.
Woohoo!
And what you just said, that is greater now. The synchronicities, that whole coincidence is a miracle in which God remains anonymous. They are more that, as you just said, when we get clear, I would say from the heart and joy and commit, then the universe just swoops in to orchestrate. Well, there's a quote that says that too, that to orchestrate all kinds of circumstances to assist us. So what was it specifically from Laura that you can think of that, so you reached out to her, right?
Oh, specifically,
Yeah.
what Laura provided was she asked me, well, what are 15 points you want to be sure to share with people to cover in the book? And she helped put it in order.
Ah,
This one is spontaneous. I want things easy. With all that, Leo, I just want to do the easy thing. And when I contacted her, she helped me to make writing the book easy. So I was able to do it.
yeah. When you and I talked on the connection call, I asked you what would be the three things you would want to emphasize. And the first one you said was that you are loved, right? Do you
Yes.
remember the other two?
Uh,
I got them.
well, I could think of some right now.
All right, then think of right now. Don't worry about what we said.
I wanted to know, I wanted people to know that they could choose to be happy, to be joyful, that it was their choice. Now, if your body is biochemically compromised, that that choice is not so clear. We actually have to choose to put alive, just like hanging out with people like Lorelei, who are filled with joy, and you feel lifted up when you spend time with her. We have the choice to let go of people who kind of drain us. Now, we're trained as children to make the big people happy because then we can survive. Actually, the
Totally.
community around us supports us. It's a very primitive need, but and we tend to bring old beliefs with us. So for me to understand that I had a choice and I could be happy, okay, it doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to turn on the happy switch. There, it takes attention, awareness of where I am now. And then you do your list. You look at your list. Oh, I always feel good when I play this music. So you put on that music. Or when I talk to my friend, oh man, she always gets me back on track, right?
Mm,
Or for some people, it's being in water or taking a hike, being in nature, surrounded by the trees. You can talk. It's like the trees are telling you all is well.
hmm.
Nature or the grass, being in touch and moving the body.
Yeah.
So you create your list. Just breathing. That's number one. You take a deep breath, equal like a triangular breath. Someone called it a pyramid breath, where you simply like a 4 4 4 4 5 counts in, hold and exhale. There's so many good breaths, but breath is the first thing to do because when
Mm,
we're stressed, we inhale and hold our breath. So
totally.
I've been holding my breath all my life. I've been like this. I mean, my body actually indicates or illustrates that I have been in that fear response that I got right from birth. So I'm so thankful for several reasons. Number one, I'm motivated. I understand, I know what I want to share. I want to share tools. This has tools like integrating the two sides of the brain, which is actually like integrating the male female, the part that's going out and going to fight for it, and the part that's kind and uh, very embracing. And it's so exciting to hear of the countries where their leaders are women and how well things are going there. Like they have less child deaths and more, the maternity of the mothers at birth is greater because of the shift in where we're putting our attention. So us integrating our own right and left side of the brain, that just means working together across this fiber between the two side hemispheres of the brain. is important. And when we're stressed, it shifts just to one.
Mm.
Unfortunately, when we're one brained, we're not as resourceful. We can't tune in to that higher aspect of our own selves. And there's a simple tool. It's called the cook's hookup when I learned it. And you're crossing your arms are outstretched with your thumbs down, one wrist over the other, and you can leave it in your lap or fold it up here and cross your ankles. This is so effective. I want to share this right now because I used it with my clients when they came in with any issue. It helped to dissolve the stress right there. One client who had done a lot of TM meditation said, wow, that put me into state faster than TM does.
Linda, we're just going to have to do another show because we are at the end of our time together
Woo!
and you are just getting started. I can tell. I am just so excited for you. I'm excited for the planet. I'm excited that you have been able to embrace all these parts of you to be able to stand on a bigger stage in this new version of yourself. So I love you, my sweet friend, and thank you so much for joining me. And to all of you, I wish you blue skies, green lights, and lucky stars. Thank you for listening to Joy Rules with me, Lorelei Robbins. Episode sparked something in you. Don't keep joy to yourself. Share and spread the light. Tune in the second and fourth Friday of the month at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Transformation Talk, where together we reclaim joy as the foundation for transformation. To dive deeper, visit me at joyrules.com. And remember, joy isn't optional, it's essential. And visit joyrules.com for lots more joy. Until next time, keep choosing joy and join the joy revolution. And until we connect, I wish you blue skies, green lights, and lucky stars.